I want to talk about compost a little bit. If you have a small yard, you might think that you really don't want to have an ugly pile of compost, but it doesn't have to be ugly. You can set your compost bins off to the side. There's a couple there, two different designs. One is made from old pallets, the one on the right. One on the left is made from some treated wood. I actually wanted cedar and got the wrong stuff, but we can leave out those details. Anyway, if you have a garden in your backyard, you're going to want to have a compost bin so you can throw the weeds in and the greens that you're not using, you know, the stuff that's overgrown. You don't want to just have the city haul all that away and take it to their compost bins where they can sell it back to you. And then, you know, with plastic and dog poop and whatever else might be in it. You start your own compost bin so that you know what you're putting into your garden. So here's the two I have. 2 is good, 3 is better. The reason for that is because you want to have a place for your finished compost, and you want to have a bin that, 1 or 2 bins that you can have the compost as it's going through its various stages. So here's again my 2 compost bins. The reason I like this one here on the right that's made out of old pallets a little better is because of the way the front comes off. It just slides up, see, and it's just a lot easier to get in there and access the finished compost or whatever not finished compost. Stir it up, and then just slide your thing back in. This one attaches with eyelets and eye hooks, which you can see I don't bother to hook them most of the time because I'm out here throwing stuff in and stirring it up fairly regularly. So what you want to remember is that you got to have browns and greens. Greens being grass clippings, fresh leaves and leafy greens that you might throw in from your garden, and browns being old brown leaves. You need nitrogen and carbon for your compost to break down, as well as water, as well as bulk. And leaves have carbon and nitrogen, so do your grass clippings, but your grass clippings have way more nitrogen than your old brown leaves do. So you need a lot of nitrogen to mix with the browns in order to get the breakdown and speed up the breakdown, get the heat that you want in order to break down your compost. You don't want to have your compost to be too big. If you have a lot of big chunks, it's going to take a long time to break down. So you want to make sure that you've got keep your clippers handy, or bring them with you when you go out to your compost bin, or when you throw stuff in that's going to get hung up in your rake. Well, you know, that's the kind of stuff that is probably going to take a long time to break down. So cut it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, into 1-inch pieces, but the smaller it is, the quicker it's going to break down, and the quicker you're going to get to use that compost. So you want to mix it up, get some dirt on the top, and again, cut up the big chunks that tend to get stuck in your rake. Besides breaking down faster, it just makes it a lot easier. Now what I do to have browns on hand, since we don't always have dried up leaves to throw in, I've got a bin of leaves that I collected in the fall, and it's just a wire cage hooked together at the ends. Throw the leaves in it, and what you want to do is when you throw your greens in there, throw a few handfuls of dry leaves in, crumble them up a little bit, and mix that all in. So you can see that these have been sitting out here in the heat, and they're pretty dry. So they just crumble up, and you want to layer that. The better you layer it, the less mixing you have to do. And again, the less mixing, or the better mix you have, the quicker it's going to break down for you. Over here in this bin, this is the finished off compost, and you can see there's some bits of wood in there, you know, things that aren't going to break down, but that's fine. If you really feel the need, you could sift it, but there's really no need. That's all fine. So start your compost bin, and this is the Libertarian Gardener signing off.